Imagine you're walking through a sunny town in ancient Greece over 2,000 years ago. You hear sandals tapping on warm stone streets and smell bread baking in clay ovens. You see boys learning in schools, athletes training for the Olympics, and women working in courtyards or drawing water from a fountain. You wonder, what was life like for the women who lived here? Let's step into their world and find out. In ancient Greece, everyday life was very different from today. The roles of women depended a lot on where they lived. Greece was made up of many city-states like Athens, Sparta, and Corinth, and each had its own customs. In many city-states, boys and girls were raised differently from a young age, with boys being trained to become citizens or soldiers, and girls being prepared to take care of a household. In Athens, one of the most powerful city-states, women usually stayed at home and took care of the house and family. They were responsible for cooking, weaving cloth, making clothes, and teaching their daughters how to do the same. A girl might get married as young as 13 or 14. Once married, a woman's main job was to care for her children and manage the home. While she didn't usually attend school or take part in government, she was very important in keeping the family running smoothly. Unlike today, Athenian women were not considered citizens, which meant they couldn't vote or own property in most cases. Instead, they were expected to obey their fathers or husbands. However, that doesn't mean they didn't have skills or strength. Many women were excellent managers of large households. Some even helped out with family businesses from the home. Women worked hard every day, often beginning their tasks before sunrise. Now let's take a short trip south to another Greek city-state, Sparta. Life for Spartan women was very different. In Sparta, girls could go to school, exercise with others, and even compete in sports like wrestling and running. The Spartans believed that strong mothers would raise strong sons, so girls were encouraged to stay healthy and active. Unlike Athenian women, Spartan women could also own land and manage property, especially when their husbands were away during wartime. One famous saying from a Spartan mother to her son before a battle was, "Come back with your shield or on it," showing the bravery expected from both men and women. Although most Greek plays, poems, and laws were written by men, we know about some Greek women who made their mark in history. One of them was Aspasia of Miletus, who lived in Athens. She was known for being very intelligent and speaking with many great thinkers of the time, including the famous leader Pericles. Even though women usually did not have public roles in Athenian society, Aspasia was respected for her opinions and wisdom. Another important woman was Sappho, one of the world's first well-known poets. She lived on the Greek island of Lesbos around 600 BCE. Sappho wrote beautiful poems about life, love, and nature. Her poetry was so admired that people called her the 10th Muse, placing her among the goddesses of art and music in Greek myth. Although only a few of her poems still remain, her words continue to inspire people today. She once wrote, "Although they are only breath, words which I command are immortal." Women also played key roles in religion and festivals. In many city-states, they took part in special ceremonies that only women could attend. In Athens, there was a festival called the Thesmophoria, which honored the earth goddess Demeter and her daughter Persephone. Women gathered together for several days to pray for good harvests and healthy families, showing that religion was an area where women had more freedom and leadership. Women who lived in the countryside often had more duties than city women. They helped with farming, gardening, and keeping animals, especially if they lived far from any city. Rich women had more time for learning arts like music and poetry, while poor women worked hard alongside their family members. It's important to remember that while ancient Greece had great thinkers, athletes, and artists, it was also a place where people had strict roles, especially women. Still within those roles, women showed creativity, intelligence, and courage. Whether they were managing their households, running farms, writing poems, or giving advice to leaders, they shaped Greek society in their own quiet but powerful ways.